Are you guys ready to talk about the one thing that runners hate even more than the treadmill? Cross training. Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Runnah, your favorite local running community. I'm Juliana. We are reporting to you live from the treadmill belt because today we are going to be talking about cross training. What I've been doing for cross training, what I found for me is working for cross training, and just like why I've been doing cross training. Because it's been about 2.5 months since I broke a toe in my foot. Cross training has been like the general vibe of what is going on recently. But before we get into the episode, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can be part of your favorite local running community every week here on Runnah. Let's talk about cross training, why I've been doing it, what I've been doing, what has been working for me, why I have been cross training. You know, the big overlying theme with cross training would be Juliana's mental health. It's been 2.5 months, and if I can guarantee you that if I wasn't cross training, I would be in like a really bad spot mentally, just because like my physical body would be kind of like going to shit. And also like my physical movement is very tied to my mental health. I know for a lot of you who are probably watching, you probably agree. You're like, oh, if I don't go out on a run, I don't feel like myself, or I just feel like a little bit off. 2.5 months of that is just like too much. And I also, at the beginning of this, was planning on running the London Marathon, which I'm like 99% sure I will not be running, just because it doesn't seem like the responsible idea at this point, given the fact that I can't really get up over 1 mile without like worrying about my feet so much. And the last MRI I got didn't have like a fully healed fracture on it. So that's kind of where we're at. But the main reason for me with doing cross training is for my physical health, obviously, but my mental health, because I need to get some anxiety out of my system. This was very apparent to me when we had that giant snowstorm that just blew through here on Cape Cod that delivered like 2 feet of snow in one day with like 70-mile-an-hour wind gusts and knocked out 99% of the Cape power-wise. And I was stuck inside an apartment with no power and then no water for a day, and then moved over to someone else's place. But the world shrunk significantly with where you could get physical activity in, and also like what was safe to be doing. So I was very, very anxious and very pent up, and I needed some physical activity. Physical activity is very important to my mental health. And like I said, like I want to stay in shape, so that way I've been calling it the runway to running. That way the runway to running is a little bit smoother instead of bumpy. Obviously I have a weird body, so like in a lot of good ways, but also in some ways that make things a little bit more challenging. I feel like for me, setting myself up for success by cross training is the best thing to do. Do I like doing all of the cross training exercises? The answer to that is no, I don't. But I like being physically fit and getting my anxiety out of my system and mentally being in a better place compared to like not doing that. So that is kind of the main reason why I've been cross training. Okay, what have I been doing for cross training? So first off, cross training at the beginning of my injury started out with almost exclusively the bike, just because there really wasn't much like ability for me to walk. And also I was supposed to be offloading my foot as much as possible due to pain, and also just so that the healing would happen. So the bike, we kind of landed on this contraption. If you've been here for a minute, you've seen this contraption before. We got the hand bike attached to the bike on the stand, whatever. So the bike for me is not the best. It was okay for the beginning because I had to offload so much and I needed to get some physical activity in just to like manage my anxiety levels. But for me, because I have hip dysplasia and hip problems, like sitting on a bike is really painful for me. So I was just kind of like gritting my teeth through that and all the hip pain I was having. We're going to talk about this with the elliptical too, because I don't really jive with ellipticals, and I tried the elliptical a bunch of times and it just like was not working for me, just because of the place where your foot hinges when you're like riding the elliptical or walk, gliding on the elliptical, maybe. I don't know. This whole entire time, I just have not been driving with the elliptical. So I did not do the elliptical at all. So we started out on the bike. We're going to group the bike and the elliptical together in exercises that I'm going to call weightless exercises. And the swimming is going to come in here in a second too. I really despise formats of exercise where you're not holding up your whole body weight. Because I hate the sensation of getting off a bike, getting off an elliptical, getting out of the pool, and just feeling the whole weight of your body just like reinstated onto your bones. It's so off-putting and like upsetting to me internally. I've never liked that. I remember the first time I was on an elliptical and I got off and I was like, whoa, the whole weight of the world has been put back on my body. I don't like that for the reason of the hip pain and also like not getting my heart rate up high enough. And also like the weightlessness thing. I'm not the biggest bike fan, but that's what we did originally. We did the bike. I did that until like I could bear weight on my feet and I was able to walk more. And then we transitioned over to the stair stepper. So I have been largely doing the stair stepper the last like month and a half, mostly because one, it gets my heart rate up into my normal running heart rate zone, which is great. We love that. Two, I'm holding my own body weight up, which is my preference. I do not like this weightlessness shit. I do not like having the whole weight of the world thrust upon me. Three, I just feel like it's the best workout that I've been able to get and also like retain my fitness levels. So me and the stair stepper have become like best friends. Luckily for me, at my gym here, no one else really wants to use the stair stepper. So unlike the treadmills and the ellipticals and some of the other machines that are out there, I've yet to find a day when there wasn't an available stair stepper. So that is great. That's one of my things too with cross training. I don't really like having to like be dependent on a machine being available. That's why I like running outside. This is where we are right now. So the stair stepper has been like my primary format of cross training. I don't love that it's indoors. I don't like that I'm just like staring at the wall for such a long period of time. I don't like that I'm kind of forced to watch the news at the gym almost because that just really negatively impacts my brain. I've been listening to my music and stuff and trying to just like stare off into the abyss. And like largely that's been working, but you know, you can only do so much of that, especially when there's so many like flashing screens around you and things like that. For me, the stair stepper has been the best thing. I will say I did foray into a little bit of pool running. I only tried it twice. But I was having a hard time because one, you're not getting your heart rate up very high. I don't know how people do that and like actually retain their fitness because I was just like not keeping my heart rate up above like 80 or 90, which was wild. And then again, we come back to like you get out of the pool and the whole weight of the world is thrust upon you thing. I did not like that. And then the 2 times I went, I got like hypothermia for the day just because it is the middle of the winter here in Massachusetts. Cost extra money. 2 was half an hour away. 3, I did not like having the whole weight of the world thrust upon me. 4, my heart rate was not up high enough. And 5, I was just getting hypothermia because the pool itself was like 70-ish degrees at the Y. And then you go into the locker room and it was like 50 degrees in the locker room. And then you go outside and it's like 10 degrees outside. And my body just like was not getting its body temperature up high enough at all during this whole thing. So I was just having a really hard time maintaining a good internal body temperature and landing myself with hypothermia for the whole rest of the day, those days that I was going. So we kind of have like shifted largely away from that. We tried it. It wasn't necessarily for us. I actually might do some pool running during the summer because there'll be some pools open that I have friends and family that I can go do some of that in. And I have the equipment to go pool running now. So like, I think it's a good training tool to work on your form. I don't think for me, it was the exact format of cross training that I enjoyed. So for me, I kind of landed on the stair stepper. That was where things kind of came together for the most part, where I've been largely. And I think I've done I calculated it out, probably like 35,000 feet of vert this year so far. So I've done a lot of vertical, upward climbing, you know, so that's a good thing. I'm fully prepared to hike a mountain. So that's great. I feel like cross training is something that maybe I'll do more in the future, and I probably should do more in the future. I'm still itching to get back to running, obviously. I think that, one, cross training is beneficial because it has helped me maintain my fitness so far. Two, I feel like it's something that I definitely should include in my future training. Definitely the stair stepper like once a week is not a bad idea in any capacity. Three, it makes that runway to running a little bit smoother. I understand that it's something that none of us want to do, that like all we want to do is go out and run. And I have had a few people being like, wow, Juliana, you're so good at like sticking to your cross training. I would never even do that. I would just rest. One, I don't know how to rest. I have no idea. That word means nothing to me. Two, like I would go mentally insane. Like I'm already going mentally insane enough, not being able to run and being able to like work out, but like not being able to work out at all would be really, really hard on me because I'm just a human who does not know how to sit down. Like I have like no chill. I need to be moving. I do my best thinking when I'm moving. I do my best like processing when I'm moving. When I have a therapy appointment later and Anna and I do it over the phone and I walk on the treadmill the entire time just because that's how like I process my thoughts better. Like when I am out walking with my friends, I am much better at answering questions than if I'm just sitting still because I just like, I can't sit still. I just can't sit still. If I was not moving right now and I was not cross training, we would have a lot more issues than not. I would encourage you, if you are injured, find a format of cross training that works well for you. Find one that you can like tolerate at least at a minimum and do it. Just do it because you're going to feel a lot better when you are mentally not doing your best, like myself, when you still can't run. And also, hopefully, Ben has confirmed this, that he has been enjoying the cross training we have been doing together because we have also been going to the gym and going weightlifting and things like that. So we are some strong bitches over here. He has noted that his running is improving because of the cross training. I said, great. Can't wait to reap those benefits when I actually get back to running. Great. I will report back to you on that afterwards, after I actually get back to some format of running. That is our episode for today, friends. Cross training, the thing that runners hate more than the treadmill. Here we are. Lovely. If you loved this episode, if you liked this episode, if you want to support the channel, go ahead, subscribe to the channel so that way you can become part of your favorite local running community every week here on Runnah. And I will see you all on the next episode of Runnah. And I love you very much. I'm very proud of you. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Runnah. This podcast is edited, hosted, and produced by me, Juliana Coughlin. Brought to you in part by the Falmouth Running Club and the Falmouth Community TV station. If you'd like to connect with us, you can find us on Instagram and on TikTok at RunnahPod. And you can send us an email at runnahpod@gmail.com. And our original theme music was brought to you by the one and the only wonderful Jeffrey Hutton. And keep up the great work. I'm proud of you.